Joining me now from Hampshire is Suzanne McKie, who's a QC. Her law practice specialises in sexual harassment and misconduct. She's advising some of the alleged victims here. Suzanne McKie, what do you make of the verdict today?
Well, on the one hand, it's certainly a vindication for a number of the women. On the other hand, it's unfortunate that they didn't believe one of the witnesses, so that the predatory rape conviction wasn't upheld. That's it. That is unfortunate.
But there is no doubt, as you say, that this is vindication for women who'd held on to their stories for such a long time for fear that they wouldn't be believed. This is really important for those women today, isn't it?
That's absolutely right. And for those that are considering civil actions, which is what I specialise in, it will certainly help them. It'll help them believe that they may be thought to be credible in a court of law, and it may give them the strength to issue proceedings rather than just consider whether to do so at the moment.
There is no doubt, though, that the court process will have been very bruising for those women. Harvey Weinstein's defence lawyers constantly saying that these women knew what they were doing, that this was transactional sex in exchange for improving their careers. It is a difficult process for these women to go through, isn't it?
It's extremely difficult. If you fight it all the way to trial in a civil case, then you can be expected to be pretty much brutalized in cross-examination. It's made particularly difficult in some of the Weinstein cases because of ongoing relationships after the alleged attacks, and also going back to work with Weinstein in a number of cases. That does make it tricky, and it does open the door to a certain sort of cross-examination.
Some of the women who've talked about those ongoing relationships explained that they felt they couldn't leave those relationships because he had such a grip on Hollywood, on their lives.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have met people, I'm advising one in particular, who said she could not get work anywhere else within that industry, and felt she had no choice but to go back to work for him. Otherwise, she would starve. She wouldn't be able to work or earn the kind of money, anywhere near the kind of money she was earning before. And he had, it's no doubt at all, a grip on these women. And it is complicated. The psychology of what you do after an incident like this is complicated. We can't judge.
Very briefly, do you anticipate, though, that today's verdicts may encourage more women to come forward?
I think that's absolutely right. I do think that where there are complexities that relate to ongoing relationships, they'd have to consider this verdict pretty carefully in deciding whether to come forward. In civil actions, one would hope settlements make it easier for women in anticipation that they will not need to go to trial. Weinstein had to fight this. A civil case is different.
Suzanne McKie, thanks very much for talking to us. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you.